Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We're doing part 2 of this beautiful little page. Cutie pie here. This is Ladybird from Mariola Budek, and it's in her Etsy shop. I'll put a link down below. And we did a base coat of pastel. So this is done in the pan pastels. We did her face and her little arms and hands here in part 1. And I laid down the blue and a little bit of grass green. And I'm going to do some details on her bow and her pants. And then I've decided that this here needs to be skin also, unless she's wearing like a onesie or something, because she's just a little kid. She's got like little socks, booties on here. And I'm going to go ahead and put some skin tone down on that. So I have to go reach way back here to get the skin tones out of my drawer. And then get out the little tool that I like to use. I should have got all this out before, sorry. Little red handle, here we go. Alright, so we're just going to stick in maybe just one tone in there. It's just a bit of her back and then give it a little highlight. So we're going to put in, let me move some stuff on my desk. May is very complicated for me. I have a lot of cards to make, and that's what's all over my desk. Okay, we're going to go in with the Burnt Sienna tint. That's the lightest shade here. And we have blue on here, not a good idea. We'll just put this one back on. We have a skin colored one here. No, that's green. Oh boy, we'll just put this one on. I don't want to get out a new one. Okay. So we'll just dab it in here and put on a little skin in this area here. And then darken it up in the down here, I guess. A little up here. And then just wipe this off a little bit. I need a sponge. Put a little blending on there. And just blend those two together. There, we have a little skin on her where she should have had skin. Which I totally did not see. But, you know, that's how I roll. Oh, he's missing one spot here or there. Gonna get that out of that little piece of her shirt. There. And just dust that off. Okay. Now I have to remember that that is not treated yet. It's just plain pastel on there. Okay, for her bow and her pants, we're going to go in. These are the same colors I used on her eyes. So we have the Persian blue, which is the darkest one, and then we have the Phthalocyanine or cyan blue, which I thought was a nice bright color that would go in here. And I did a little bit of placing that down on the first video too. So we're just going to go in. I think I'll lower you down a little bit so you can get a better look at that. Just going to go in where we have the darkest areas and kind of bring that color out a little bit. Okay. Just lightly pull it up. Very light, like a feather. Just barely any pressure. Pencil will put down the color because it's very pigmented, but we want it light. And we're just going to go over the whole bow doing the same thing. Darkening up some areas where we're going to have some shadow. the bow arches, we want to get our strokes to arch with it. And then it gets a nice dark color going on, a darker color. I want to leave these little ruffles white, so I don't want to put any color on those. Just following the little shadow lines that were given to us. And if you would prefer, this also comes, this file comes in a darker lined version. This is the light line version. So the nice things about Mariola's Etsy shop is that her digital prints come in different shades. So if you wanted this a darker color, it has a lot more details in it. You can do it in that. This is the light one. I did not print the dark one. I kind of like putting my own lines in, but the dark one has more definition in all of the lines, and these leaves are absolutely gorgeous in the darker version. So you can also use that as a guideline if you wanted just to look at it and know where your lines go. Darken it up here. She also gives this to you in 2 different file forms in case one of your, like your computer or your printer only takes one kind of form. Darken this up a little bit. And the inside of her bow. It's looking pretty good. We're going to move on down here to her pants. Now I did a little bit of this, but the pants pockets and her pants have got stitching on them. And I'm going to accent the stitch marks. And then put in a little shading in here. It's going to go on her belt too. It's going to, her belt loops. Put in little stitch marks. Darken up this area up here. It would be darker under her little belt, which I'm going to do the same color as her shirt. Okay, with the light version here, you can go over all the lines and it kind of looks like there's no printing, which is kind of fun to do. So I'll just trace that line down. Okay, trace these lines up here too. And then just go around and bring some of that color in a little bit. So just very light pencil work. It'll be darker down here because she has more pressure going down on her knee. Gonna redo these lines here. And of course darker under this side of the lid because of the shadow. So this is just really light. Light pressure. So thank you guys also for watching and subscribing. I've gotten a lot of new subscribers, so welcome to the channel. And thank you everybody who was answering all my questions yesterday. I really appreciate it. A lot of different weather going on around here. Okay, that's part of the belt. Okay. You can see that's coming together. We're going to throw in some of the dark Pruuian blue. Like in the darkest areas down here, we're going to exaggerate these little lines that are coming out. Maybe add a few more. But definitely darken it up down in here. Of course, under her leg here. Just going to add a little more of that. We go over any of the lines that you want to stand out a little bit more. I don't go over all of them, just the ones that I want the darkest on this one, because I still want some really light colors going on here. And if we've lost our stitching, we can just add it back in. So we're just gonna keep going around here. I want to define that belt a little bit better here. Belt loop here too. Kind of add it up there a little bit more. Okay, I know it looks a little choppy right now. I'm going to come back in with the lighter color and go over it again. Just lightly. But I want to bring some more color into that. She could have faded jeans, but they can't be that faded. So I'm just going to use the side of the pencil here and bring a little more color up in there. It just is easier for me to get a very, very light coat in if I'm just using the side of the lead and holding the pencil way back. It just gives me a better blend. I think it's a little more color into her jeans. Okay, we're going to bring in, I think, the buff titanium here. And we're just going to use it like a blender. And just blend that in a little bit. Okay. You just kind of keep turning it and going in different angles and it'll blend. I'm not putting a whole lot of pressure on it. Okay, then we're going to go in with a little bit of Prisma White. I'm going to sharpen it, so sorry. I got to make noise there. Okay, and then in the lightest areas, I'm just going to add a little bit of that. There we go. Then we're going to do the same thing up here in the bow. We're going to bring some of that dark color blue, the Persian blue, just in the darkest areas here. Trace over that line and blend it down. trace up here too. Okay, so we're just going over the light lines and kind of like tracing them back in, and then pulling the dark down from them just so they don't look like they're just lines, folds in the fabric. Okay, go up here into this one. And this last one here. Okay, that dressed that up quite a bit. We need to do something over here. There we go. Okay, we're going to pull a little of the white in here. Just a plain white. Just kind of pull it up. Okay, and you can see the difference between these two sides. The white kind of gives it, because there's a pastel under here, this kind of green look that you have down here too. I kind of like it. So we're going to go and do it on this side too. And I'm keeping it going kind of at an angle here, just so it will pull everything down. There we go. kind of cool. Want a little whiter here. Just put heavier pressure on it. Okay, so we've got her jeans done and her little bow. And I think we're going to attempt to do her hair since we have some of these colors out. I'm going to put some pan pastel in her hair. There's a pan pastel tool out here on my desk. It's bright red. It's really hard to see, but I can't find it. Here we go. Okay, a little spongy here. Make sure we don't have too much color here. We're going to go into the, it's still the skin tone set we're using, and I'm going to do the Burnt Sienna, which is kind of the redder look of the colors here. It's the one right here in the middle. And we're going to put a little of the colorless blender in it. And just where our hair is the darkest, we're just going to put some in and pull it up. Okay, she's got the lines here, and that's all I'm doing is following the shadow. Okay. Very lightly putting this in. You don't need much of the pan pastel to get color on here. Okay, same thing with her pony up here. Just going to pull it down here where the shadows are. Very lightly. Same up on the top up here. And on her curl. Okay, down here. Okay, we're going to dip into the darker shade, and the darker shade is Burnt Sienna Extra Dark. Dip into that, and then just go in the shadow area just a bit darker. And put a little shadow under the bubbles on her hair. Okay, then we're going to go over it in pencil. I'm going to have to take a little break. I have to go down and spray it so I don't just keep smearing pastels all over the place, and I'll be right back. All right, should be all dry now. We're going to go in with the same colors that I did her skin, basically. The brown ochre 50%, brown ochre, burnt sienna and the Cassel Earth. These are all going to be shades in her hair, not solid colors. So we're going to go in with the lightest color first, which is the brown ochre at 50%. And sharpen it and keep turning it. And we're just going to bring in some of these little hairs. Want to go in the shape of her head, so it's round and kind of in the ponytail realm, so it's all pulled up. I would never be able to get that, wear that. I get headaches if I pull my hair up like that. But she's young. And it looks cute. Okay, so we're just going to pull some down, pull some up, let them kind of meet, but I want that all white-ish, lighter. We want our highlight. And we're going to be doing this with a lot of different colors, so this is just our first layer. Lots of little strands. Sorry, I have to keep turning this, but I really can't twist my wrist too much, so I'd rather move the paper. Now even that looks cute, but we have 3 more colors to go in this hair. So we're going to just keep working at it. This one here is the brown ochre. It's a little darker. We're going to keep that in the darker areas. In her picture, she had a shadow here, so just trying to enforce that a little bit. I don't forget it's there. I'm going to turn this upside down. I have to get this shadow in here. And also some color there. I'm just tracing over the lines. So we don't have any gray lines going here. Just like we did down below. Okay, I will do her bangs. Hope I'm still on camera here. Okay, now we'll go in with, let me keep my colors here, the burnt sienna, as we'll start here since I'm here, darker color. Remember to keep turning the pencil so you always have a sharp edge. A lot of little hair flicks. Okay, it's looking kind of cute. Turn it over. Go this way. We still have one more color to go in here, which is going to be the darkest color. Okay, and the darkest color is the Cassel Earth, and these are just going to go in where it needs to be the darkest. I'm not even going to pull this out too much. Just going to accent our big lines in her hair. Get it around the bow where it'll be more in the shadow. Right where her ponytail comes down, where it would all be pulled really tight, going up the same way. And then you have these curls, accent those. Under here. Just kind of lightly put that in there. Okay, then we're going to go back in with the lightest color, which is the brown ochre 50%. Kind of going over everybody, putting in a little bit more of it in this lighter area. Just so it's not so stark white. Can't do that. I'm sorry. I have to turn the paper all the way around. Okay. I'm just looking to see where it needs to be a little darker. Okay, now we're going to bring in the Prisma White, which I have to sharpen. Oh, it seems like I have to sharpen that one. Good thing I bought a big box of them, right? Okay, and in the areas that I think need a little highlight, like this little area here, we're just going to put a little bit of the white in. Throw some white down here. Keeping our little, what do we call this? The highlighted area, mostly white. But kind of blending it so it doesn't look like we just put a whole bunch of lines on there, like we did. Just kind of softening it up a little. So we'll just go around and put the white wherever we think it needs to be. Soften up those hairlines a little bit. Okay, a brush here. If you want to darken up any more areas, just go back in over anything that we've done and give it a little more color. This is just to your preference how you like it. So if you wanted to add in another color, go ahead and do that. You could put a red in here or a yellow, change the whole hair color altogether. We also want to do her little eyebrow here. This is the burnt sienna that I did the eyebrow with. And if you want to put any loose hairs in, you can too. Say like this little curl, if it's not going to be all perfect, you can put in some like loose stragglers. Maybe some loose hair coming out over here too, or on the curl. Just some wispy hair. She's out in the, out and about, so we might as well throw some extra hair in there. And we're gonna hold on for a minute. Okay, so we're just gonna darken up her skin down here too a little bit. Since we're using the same colors, it's okay to do that. Just because that's in a shadow down there. And like I said, play with it as much as you want. Don't play with it at all. You could put it down as one solid color. I'm just going to play a little bit more up here on the pony because I don't think I got enough color up here. Add some down here too. And add in the lighter color just to blend that a little bit. Okay. I may play with that a little bit more, I don't know. But you get the gist. It's just adding color on top of color till you get the color that you like. All right. And I'm going to have to call it. So this is going to be part 2. I think she turned out rather cute so far. So we've got her hair and her little bow and her pants done today. And in part 3, we'll get her little shirt and like the little details on her done. I'm trying to take this picture a little slower. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in part 3. Take care, everyone. Bye now.